All right, I think we are officially live. So hi everyone, welcome to the Black Tech Unplugged Watzs production frame of reference live discussion. So excited to have the entire cast and the creators here tonight. So thank you all for joining me. You just released season 1 of Frame of Reference on Monday/Tuesday, we'll say. So very excited to have you on and talking about season 1. So to start our conversation today, want to just introduce you to the platform. So let's start off with what is Watzs Production and how was it formed? So Kalisha, Kashel, why don't you tell the audience about that?
Watzs Productions is a labor of love, a vision realized. We formed in 2008. We were strictly event production, not weddings. I have to make that clear. But we were corporate events, production. And then in 2016, we switched gears and we shifted into media, film production. From there, I came up with 13 concepts before we started our visual production house. And we created a very strategic plan, and the first series being Frame of Reference and a true labor of love. It took us 5 years to curate this series, 5 years of multiple casts and trying to get it right, and pilots that will never ever be seen a day in its life. But we did all the hard work to make sure that when we did release what we thought was our absolute best, that it could be received with open arms and high praises, and that's where we're at today. So that's the journey of Watzs short form, and we're excited to be here.
Excellent. And how did Frame of Reference come about? How did you know that that was a series that you were going to create? What's the motivation?
So the motivation primarily was my father, who was a technical engineer, and he would come home often and talk about how his ideas were stolen, how he wasn't given proper credit, how it was hard for minority workers in all white spaces. And so a lot of it was my real life. And from there, he suffered also from Parkinson's, and he transitioned in 2014. And it was always on my heart to do it. I just didn't know how I was going to pull it all together, if that kind of makes sense. And in 2015, I will never forget it. I was downtown Dallas off of Ross Avenue. And I went outside and I sat down and I was like, I'm going to write this. I'm going to write a story. I didn't tell anybody. I just wrote it. I wrote all the episodes. And then I went to my sister and I was like, don't gaslight me. I want you to read this. Only tell me the truth. If you think it's whack, say that. If you think it's dope, say that too. And I shared it with her and she was like, real talk, this is dope. This is dope. And so I was like, well, let's do it. And so naive, we went to some contacts and friends in Los Angeles, and we gave the script, and they was real bold with us and said, we don't want that shit. You know, we live in Los Angeles. We can't go to lunch without somebody giving us a script. He was like, Zachary Sisters, where's your skin in the game? So we got on that Southwest flight. We came back to Dallas. I was in my seat. I was like, man, they gave it to us so hard that, you know, you either had to face it or just walk away. And Kalisha was like, he gave us everything we need, Kashel. She said, he told us the truth. She said, I'm going to fund it. We're going to do it. I'm going to pay for it. And we're going to do it our way. And I want to give a supreme shout out to my sister, my business partner, and my best friend, Kalisha. You're nothing in this world if you ain't got somebody that'll ride or die for you. And she my ride or die. And not only did she put up she put money. When you got somebody that is going to invest they money, they resources in you, that's a powerful thing. And I told her, if you do it, Kalisha, I won't let you down. And so from that time, from 2017 onward, it's been a true labor of love. That's how I got here. I knew I had to highlight Black American life and do it from the version in which I saw it. And so this is how Black people in my life lived. I have the Komisha and the Maliks. I know them. They name ain't Komisha and Malik, but I know them, right? And so we changed the name to protect the innocent. And then, I got the Ethans and, the Camerons. I know them personally. And I just took all that knowledge from personal life and just having just a real broad aspect of life. And I put it all together, and frame of reference was birth.
And that's what I love about the series is that, one, you are so raw and passionate about it. And that is something that we don't see in a lot of the creative work that people are doing now. Mm-hmm. But even more importantly, you are using emerging creatives and talent, such as all the actors who are joining us today. Mm-hmm. And so I want to open the question up to all of the actors. For you all, some of this is your first role or you're early on in your career. How did you feel doing the series?
Well, I'll say this was my first role that I got cast as Nia. And it was a pleasure. It was a joy, being a part of this production. The realness of the script is what pulled me in. And I always tell Cashel, just thank you for showing a better side of our culture. We always see the negative side, or it's always magnified, should I say, instead of showing what we can do, what we are capable of, the positive that we're able to impact on someone else, i.e. Ethan being a positive influence to Malik and pulling him in from the streets that he's used to. So that's what I am completely grateful for, and just being on set and seeing it come to life and then seeing the full series was just very heartwarming, and it was worth every bit of it. It was worth every bit of it.
And I had been acting for probably about 8 years around the time I joined Frame of Reference. And, with that being said, it says a lot because they were very professional on set 24/7, just providing for us, giving us what we need, really caring about, our time, and just like Cashel said earlier, just investing in us, as they call us green actors that don't have a lot of experience. But man, I promise you watched the show, we brought our game, but it was really dope just being a part of the project. It was different. I just felt, an authentic, relationship with Cashel and Kalisha. And it was new to me too, because normally the person funding the project is nowhere to be seen, but Kalisha was right there, just really helping us be on top of it, which I appreciated. So it was a really fun experience, and it took us some times, but sometimes the best things take time before you finish them. So
for me, I can really say it was the chance. You know what I'm saying? It was definitely the chance, because my thing is, once you take a chance on somebody who doesn't have a chance to do anything, that's big to them. So to me, it was like, although this was like my first project in when I just turned 25, I could say, it's like, how do you become someone if someone does not give you a chance? And the fact that they knew, what it means to give someone a chance because someone didn't give them a chance. They were like, you know what? I'm gonna pick the people that gets overlooked. And I think she said that one time. She don't know that it resonated with me in my heart. Like, you didn't have to do it. You didn't have to book all these hotels and these flights and feed us every other. That's really big. You go to certain productions and they're like, yo, hey, you're going to be out here. You're going to be an extra. You get $100 a day, go home. You know what I'm saying? And just to have them just have that warmth on set, and not just the chance, but just to make it like a family. I call them the tribe. And I always tell them it's always it's like a tribe. So to me, even to be a part of it was I got you for life, because you really, no matter how far I go, you took a chance on me. So you played a rolling stone in my life. You played a part of Marvin St. Bill being Marvin St. Bill. So that's what I'm truly grateful for, was really the opportunity and the chance.
And just to piggyback on what they said, it's the care that they took, the way that they handled us, and the care that they took with us. Not to get into too many details, but they took care of us. I've been acting for a while, but never in a series. So this was my first time doing something of this magnitude. I mean, I've done music videos and commercials and things like that, but it's different. And so it's like the same thing when people invest money in you, that shows their heart. That shows that their heart is in it. And none of us, truth be told, none of us invested nothing except for some time. But the investment, it was all on them. They invested, everything. And so for us, we had to come and show up and show out, because it was like we really cared about that investment that they took on us, and they took a chance. They took a chance. Thank y'all.
As the senior member of the cast, I've been performing since 1975 on stage, and this was absolutely one of the best productions I've ever been involved with. And that's why I keep calling y'all when I'm like coming through Texas and stuff, because I will call them and they'd be like, look, we're busy. I'm like, because this is, to me, this family now. So, I tell people, don't let me in your family, because I'm like luggage, I won't go away. All right. So we were so well cared for. Every detail, from flights to food to transportation to everything. And I've been on productions where there was a whole lot more money spent, but there was like no care. It was, okay, you came in, you got your money. Thank you, bye. See you later. We'll let you know when it's going to be on TV or whatever. And it was such a joy to be involved. I got to spend more time with the guys than with the girls. And I did not know that. I keep hearing this green, new. I saw the 8 episodes. I would have had no clue that this was anybody's first anything. Because as I was saying in the chat, we've been having a wonderful time in the chat since a few days ago. As I did not know a lot of the script. I did not, which was great. I didn't know a lot of things that were going on. So when I was watching it, I was not watching it from the perspective of I'm looking at people acting. It was just like, okay, the camera is just giving us a view into the lives of these people, which made it extremely interesting and enjoyable. And it was like, oh, no, he didn't say that. Oh, no, she didn't say that. And it was just, it was real. So, and I'll leave it at that. Thank you.
I wanted to say, I love working with Watzs from top to bottom. I mean, everyone has already said they take care of us, but they really care about us as people, not just as their characters. And it's really amazing. They set the standard for me. I mean, being with this production company, I was really early. I'm still really early in my career, but they have set the standard for me for what I expect coming from any production company. And it was an amazing time on set. And if you haven't seen it, you should see it.
Yeah, just to piggyback off of everyone, Watt's production is different than other sets. Being able to not only connect with them early in my career, but early in their career as well is like a bonus plus, because I feel like we are able to build a connection of, wherever we go after this, we can always come back to Watts and say, like, thank you for giving me that chance, or how can I help you? How can you help me? The environment that has been built is just amazing. Like Watts is different. I tell that to everybody. It definitely has set the tone for going into other projects. I've been on other sets, from doing crew work to background to lead, and Watts is different. It's different because they care, they take care of you, they listen, they allow you that creative space to, to play, to explore with your character, with your role, the way they handle things. They even, personally, I feel like I've upgraded professionally on the business side of acting from Watts, because not only did I come there and do my job and leave, but I left with understanding more about things I should look for in my contract, and everything, and how to talk business, how to carry myself on the business side. And that has helped me professionally and even get more roles. And one thing people don't know, Watts even has a signature scent. Their aesthetic, when you step onto their set, when you step into a meeting, you know, there is a vibe. You can go to the Instagram page and see it, but being with them in person, the energy, they have the same energy. There's a scent, you know, I'm not gonna tell you what the scent is because you gotta come and experience it. You know, you gotta get on one of their sets, but they smell good and they look good. So yes, I love Watts. I talk about them to everybody. I'm a fan, and I'm glad to say that I work with them, and I want to continue that connection.
And for me, I really gotta just thank Kalisha and Cashel. So I don't know if a lot of people knew this, but so when I actually booked the role of Ethan, I was like a year in as an actor, and I remember when I first like started out, I auditioned for Watts, and I stunk it up. Like, it was terrible. Like, I remember leaving the audition like, yo, I should not be acting. Like, it was that bad, right? And for Cashel and Kalisha to turn around and give me an opportunity, like after that, I really thank them, because it was super early on in my career. And, you know, I thank God I got fortunate, right? I felt like I was in the right place at the right time, a good amount early on. So I got some good opportunities. But for like the lead role for like a show of that magnitude, I think they really took a chance on me. And they, you know, it's not like, you know, they saw me trying, right? They saw me trying. And I think it's just a testament to who they are as people, because, you know, it's like, you know, we're gonna give you another opportunity. And this time it's for like the main guy. So just the way I'm wired, I couldn't let them down, you know? So, but I just had to get to work. So, you know, like I said, it was like a year. Like, I only been acting for a year. So, you know, I was in class, I was studying. Like, the process for me to get ready for Ethan it was probably harder than for me to get ready for a football season, honestly. Like, I was every morning, 5 a.m., got my headphones in, I'm on a treadmill, I'm running lines. I just wanted to show them how like thankful I was for that opportunity, because you know, like I said, like for them to like give me a second chance and like to give me the lead role was just a huge thing for me. And it gave me the confidence that I needed, that like I was ready to play with everybody, right? I was able to perform on a level that everybody was able to perform on. So, and I just had really talented people around me, man. I was just so motivated. There were just so many talented people around me. And, you know, we have friendships now that are like forever. Like, I call Carl Pops, for real. Like, Carl comes to see me. I've hung out with Marvin in Florida. Like, I'm cool with like Whitney and Alicia. We hang out here in New York City. Like, it's a family. So more than anything, I always thank Cashel and Kalisha for that opportunity. And, you know, Cashel is brilliant. Obviously the writing is brilliant. And I want to make one more point. I was on set, and you know, in the scene, you won't really be able to tell, but there's a flashback scene where me and Jada, who plays my like my college girlfriend, we're having like a moment. We're going back and forth, and I'm yelling. I'm giving it everything I got. I'm going back and forth. And I remember, and I was hurt. And I think Chandelier knows what I'm talking about. I came out of the room and I was like, yo, I was like, I think I might be out of juice. And I remember Kalisha, who's, you know, she's the executive producer. Like, she should just be like a big shot, kind of just hanging out. She's making me tea. Like, she's like making me tea. And that was very humbling. And that shows you the type of people that Kalisha and Cashel and the whole Watts production is. And then that just shows you the kind of team that we had around us. So it was just a great experience. I'm very humbled by it. The end product is phenomenal. I've watched it a bunch of times, a lot of quotables, but overall, I just want to thank Watts, Kalisha, and Cashel for everything they've done. And I just want to thank the cast that we had, man. Just when you have such talented people around you, you got to like raise your game, right? You got to like raise your game. And everybody brought their A game, and I'm thankful and humbled by it. So thank you guys.
Yeah, that's one thing that I will say. You all bought your A game, because I've watched the series multiple times now. I had to watch it. First, I watched it on my laptop. Then I was like, I need a big screen. Let me watch it on the TV, make sure it's real. Then when I was watching it, I was like, let me watch it again because it was that good. So I'm glad to hear that you all, first off, that you appreciate the opportunity, but then two, you all are really friends and became family on set. And I appreciate hearing that because it's not often that you hear that. But also I hear that Watts Production needs to release like some kind of spray because it seems like y'all have some kind of scent or energy that you're bringing. And, you know, I want that in my home. So just saying. But we've been talking.
Stay tuned for the store. Stay tuned for the store. Okay, stay tuned for the store. We gonna come out with it, but it is a vibe.
So we've been talking about tribe. And so basically you all are one big tribe at this point, but even in frame of reference, you all are a tribe, you all are a group of friends who are going through it with each other, and you all are each other's support system. That is the only way that you're getting by. And so I want to talk through being a tribe and having support. So let's start with the men, because from your side, you all are always going to drinks, you're giving each other advice. How important, especially as a Black man, is it important to have support? And what does support actually look like that's helpful to you?
And I feel like I can speak on that with for Cameron, just because I think Cameron, out of all the guys, is the most isolated person. I feel like his only focus is being successful and just putting on a show and just kind of being that guy. So normally when you like that, you know, a lot of people don't want to be around you because your ego probably too big. So I feel like the benefit of having a tribe for him is, a lot of his relationships are transactional, meaning I'm going to give you something, you'll give me something back. But with them, they didn't ask for nothing. And they had a lot to give, which included some great advice, friendship, accountability, honesty. And I really feels like when you have a tribe, it helps you to kind of open your perspective and to learn about, you know, the people within your tribe, because Cameron would have knew nothing about anybody like Malik if he didn't get close to Ethan, who's essentially close to them. So like tribe is important because it's just going to make you a stronger and a better person. And it's going to open your perspective on life.
No, definitely to piggyback off what Darren is saying, a tribe is super important because I feel like as men, we don't really have a safe space to really open up. Oftentimes, if we would open up, we either get called weak or you know, you're a punk or sissified, all type of words. It's like, that's not what it is. I'm just trying to unload these emotions before I end up doing something that could cost me in the long run. So having a tribe is super important because like Malik, he doesn't really trust these guys except Ethan to a certain degree. So even him, like talking to his wife about Xavier, I can't be myself around him. That's it right there. I cannot be myself. I can't be who I am around these people. I don't know how they will view me, how they will judge me. And it's like, I'm used to what I'm used to. But now I want to make a better life for myself. So I got to step out of my comfort zone, which is me trying to open up. And then now for me setting up this meeting with all these guys, I got to take a leap of faith to trust them. So, you know, having a tribe is super important. It's not about work. It's not about, it's not about, ego. It's not about status. It's about being a human being. It's about you understanding me, me understanding you. And it's like super important because as men, we need that. Oftentimes, like if you check it out, like in the United States, men has the highest suicidal rate. Why is that? Because they don't have no space to really sit down and talk and sit down and really be open, be vulnerable. You know what I'm saying? So to me, a tribe is super, super important. You have somebody to rub your back and tell you, it's okay, Black man, you're doing all right, you're doing good. You can get better. You got this. I believe in you. That word, that phrase, I believe in you, is so powerful. Hearing it from another man is super powerful. You can hear it from a woman, it's like, okay, all right, I got confidence. But to hear another brother tell you, or any man, I believe in you, it's like, so you see me. You may be going through something, but you see me also. And I take that in. So that's why to me, a tribe is very, very important. Very important.
And for me, so I'm gonna just speak about me first, and then I'm gonna get into Ethan a little bit. But for me, I'm fortunate because I grew up playing sports, so you have teammates, and a lot of the people that you play sports with, because you go through this grind, right, for 2, 3, 4, 5 years at a time, and you build these relationships. I've been fortunate enough to have like 7 guys from high schools who were brothers now, right? And I got like another like 6 guys from college who were like brothers. And then I'm fortunate enough to meet a couple of people along the way through my professional career that I consider brothers. And when you guys go through a lot of adversities and a lot of different issues in life, and then once you overcome those issues, you build a bond, right? You become close. So I have guys that I can go to I have guys that keep me accountable, because that's important to me, like accountability. Like if I'm doing something that's not right or I'm messing up, I'm fortunate enough to have people in my corner that would check me, and they're not scared to check me, and I'm not scared to check them. So I think that's, having a team and having a group of people who are really hold you accountable. They'll make sure you do what you say you're going to do. They'll make sure you execute. It's super important to me, right? And I'm fortunate to have that. Now Ethan, Ethan struggles with a lot, right? He overthinks a lot. Obviously, he has a diagnosis that is troubling, and Ethan is not really good at expressing himself, right? He's always thinking about his thoughts. He's always like trying to figure out like what he's going to say. Am I going to say the right thing? Knowing that in his mind he might be out of time, right? And he has all these other issues that he's dealing with. With my brothers passing away, I just can't connect with my brother's like lifestyle, right? Like I just don't want to talk to my mom and dad, and Harlem just like we're tight, but like he has his own issues, so like I have to be mindful of that. So with Ethan, you see him in a lot of times, and shout out to just the way it was cut and put together, but you see him in moments of solitude, right? He just in his thoughts, constantly thinking, and Ethan's outlet is being able to help Malik, or being able to have an opportunity to hang out with the fellas every now and then. But in reality, like the main person that he was able to truly like express himself to, who's my brother, Andrew, he was gone. You know what I'm saying? He was gone. So that's a little bit of a different dynamic between me and Ethan, right? I have that outlet and I have people in my life. I also have actual brothers, right? But I do have people who are selected to be like brothers that we have that relationship with. Ethan doesn't quite have that. And you can see throughout the series the dilemmas that he's facing, constantly in his thoughts, constantly overthinking stuff, always trying to figure out what to say. And his dad had to come down and check him, So that's my take on that.
And Emin, you bring up a good point with the like family piece. So there's that family piece for Ethan where the father comes and checks in. How important is it to also have your family as some sort of support system? And Edmond and Carl, I'd like to hear your thoughts on that.
Pops, you can go.
Okay. As I was honored to play the father, because I was told, I still remember the day that I auditioned. I was on an acting job, and I was in my truck, and I was driving doing a drive-through to grab some lunch, and she said, "Do you have time now?" I was like, "Okay." So we made time, and we did my little audition, and she said, I could hear in her voice how important this role was. And then to be informed that, well, this is fashioned after, this is my father, my real father. And to be told that, well, oh, you definitely, you embody the spirit of what I want to convey in this. And so I took that very seriously. And I was then implored to basically speak to the brothers on the set and be that stable, that stability, because I did not realize it, even though they told me, these are a lot of young brothers who, in some cases, this is kind of their first time doing, something like this. And so every chance I got on set, I, basically kind of said, "Hey guys, come on, let's chat." And, when we were sitting around the picnic tables, and, and I remember I had some wonderful conversations individually and collectively, and just kind of poured into them, which is, I feel, very important, that that's the role of the older men. They need to have that relationship with the young brothers. And, because at one point I remember I said to you guys, here's something I wish somebody had told me when I was your age. Okay. I feel those kinds of things are important. And as a result of that, I now have a wonderful relationship with Edmond. Like he said, when I go to New York, we get together. I've been up there, I've seen him at least three times when I've gone to New York. And Duran now lives in Atlanta, and he came to see me perform, him and his wife, a couple of years ago. So it's been a blessing to continue to have those relationships that make such a big difference, and that's just in life. Now, as far as the characters, Pops and Ethan, because knowing my son and knowing where he was, and expressing to him that, look, God chose me to be your father, and I am always going to be here for you. If every young man, and especially if every young Black man, heard that from his father, this entire nation would be different, completely different. Okay. And so that was such an important statement to make. And it was great to be in a position to be able to say that, and and let him know that. And then off screen, because we have connected so well, we have had many just heart-to-heart conversations, and I've had the opportunity, and I've learned from him as well, but I've had the opportunity to just pour into his life and give him advice and say, well, hey, okay, this is coming up, or, you got this many years to do this, don't wait until you're 65, don't wait until you're 55 to do this, So those are the kinds of things that the young men need to hear from someone who's been there. And that's where, like Marvin said, we're a tribe, and I'm one of the elders, and I accept and embrace those responsibilities.
Yeah, I call Carl Pops. Like, I don't even call him Carl no more. I just call him Pops. And I'll say this while everybody's on. Carl, I just really appreciate what you've been in my life the last couple of years, man. We've had some really deep conversations that I don't really get a chance to have with my biological father. And my dad is great, but like, just circumstance, right? He lives in Italy, I live in America. Like, it just, circumstances just doesn't allow us to have the kind of relationship that I would want. So just being able to have that relationship with you on camera and off camera has been amazing. But I don't really know everybody's circumstance, so I'm going to tread lightly in speaking about it, because I just knew, like, my mom was my motivation to get stuff done. I want to always make my mom proud, but man, I'm telling you, like, my dad could have saved me a couple years of bumping my head into the wall, So I think that perspective is important, because all my friends who have their dads in their lives got a little bit more of an edge, right? Because the thing about life that's super intriguing is that, like, if you're going to try to make every mistake in life, you're going to run out of life before you can make every mistake, right? So then you need the wisdom from your dad when you're a male, right? To be like, hey, son, listen, I screwed these 18 things up. So I'm going to save you 27 years of screwing some stuff up by giving you this information, right? And what happens is, when you have a father figure in your life, those are the things that you're exposed to. It's just like, okay, you're going to stop me from making this mistake. Or, you have this connection that you can put me on. I had my uncle, who was my dad's brother. He was fantastic. I had great coaches growing up, right? But there were just some things that, like, they couldn't account for, right? And I was fortunate. My mom kind of just took on the load by herself. But just to kind of, like, bring everything full circle, the way Kishore wrote it was amazing, because Pop showed up at the right time. And the way when you're watching the series, you knew that you knew that Pop Scott, like, something is wrong. I know it. This is my son. I feel it. And he strategized, right? I can't have mom involved, so I'm gonna send her on vacation. I'm gonna come here myself, and I'm gonna have a heart-to-heart with you. And I'm not even gonna call you and tell you. I'm gonna just pull up, right? So and I'm over here like, Dad, you flew down from Maryland to, like, Dallas to tell me that? He's like, yeah, because I want peace in my home. And these are all things that, like, a dad would do. It's just like, no, something is not right. I already lost a son, and I got to make sure that I preserve the other one that I have left. And I'm going to do everything in my power to make that happen. So credit to a lot of credit to Kishore for, like, just having that structure in the writing, right? It was beautifully placed, like, right in the middle of, like, I'm about to lose it. And just in general, I just think men, whether white or black, but, like, in our scenario, black men need to have that father figure, because a lot of the issues that come up is because a lot of people are just running astray. There's no real guidance. There's no real roadmap on how to execute and do things and just kind of be a man. So I just think that dynamic is super, super important.
Yep. And I mean, you say that as if, so if my family was calling and I didn't answer, my family would run up on me too. So, and I feel like most people's family would do that if you have a good relationship. But thank you all, like from the men perspective. And if you know any Black man or just any man watching this or is not watching this live now, send this to them, because y'all dropped a lot of gems, including not having transactional relationships like Cameron, but then also having another man just have your back and say, you know, I believe in you, and building those relationships and listening to your elders and that guidance. And there's so much I wish I knew when I was especially getting into a career that I wish somebody would have told me. So always listen to your elders and be willing to share that information. Now, ladies, I didn't forget about you either, because you all had your own little environment and group within the show as well. And yes, you did join each other for like mimosas and girl talk, but it's not all about like gossip and just going shopping, but you all had your real authentic bonds too. So I want to hear from you. Why do you need your tribe, and why is it important? Because a lot of times now women are like, I don't want to be friends with other women. It's too complicated, but it's really important to have other female friends.
For me, I come from a family that was not very supportive. My parents were really the only people that supported me. The rest of my family did not. You know, I've had friends betray me. I've had all type of things go on, and it's put me like in this survival mode. Like, I'm like, I don't want no friends. I don't want to be close to nobody. I don't want it, because every time I let my walls down, like it causes me pain. I get hurt. So for me, to find friendships on set and off of set, that were genuine. Like me and Shan talk all the time. That's my boo. We've visited each other. We've seen each other. She the closest thing to me. I'm in Houston. Shan is in Dallas, and I think everybody else is everywhere else. So that's, you know, we're close to one another. I talk to Alicia and Whitney often, but they're in New York, so I don't get to see them, but we do our FaceTime thing. And I mean, I've spoken to the other ladies too, but naturally those were the women that I was on set with. So, you know, obviously we built a bit more of a bond than the other ladies did. And it just literally, it was so genuine on set that it continued off set, and it felt good and it felt real, and it has been real. And just like we were on set being real with one another, we have that same, no lie, it's almost weird. We have that same relationship off set, and it just feels so good to be in a place to where you can develop and forge those relationships. And that's another thing that I'm really thankful for, because I'm a super loner. And so the ladies are fire. I like them. I love them. And yeah, it was cool for me. It was a little deeper for me than it was probably was for everybody else, because I never had that support, and they have supported me.
For me, first, I'm an only child, so I have god sisters and close friends that actually have helped me pull in the character of Nia. But I think having a group of friends can be important in a lot of ways. For me, it was just me and my parents. So I didn't have any siblings. As a kid, I tried to buy my friends and realized, hey, that doesn't work. So in my adult age, having friends that make you accountable for your words, your actions, your decisions, is very important, to correct you when you're wrong, even if it's not in public. You know, they may be down for you like 4-flat tires in public, but in private, it's like, girl, you know, you were wrong. You know, so it's important to have those friends, because it helps your perspective. It helps you see things in a different light. I've had people tell me that I'm a blessing in their life because I help them see things in a different perspective. The relationship between Nia and Comisha, is very, very, a very, very strong bond. And you can tell, hey, I got your back, regardless of what happens, if Malik goes this way or if Malik goes that way. I think that even with the brunch meeting with Kat, Komisha, and Leah was very important, because it was one of those moments where I need to vent. I don't know who else to talk to. Y'all, my girls, let me get this off my chest. You had Kat that was woo, 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 it's gonna, the counselor. And then you had Komisha who was like, girl, you was out of line for that, throwing papers and carrying on. So, you have the woo end of the spectrum, and then you have the honest opinion end of the spectrum. And I think just having that variety of friendships is very, very important, because you know who you can go to about what. In certain situations. So I think for females and for Cashel to show that it is possible to get along with females, that it is possible to have a bond. I actually hate that people say, I don't like females. I don't want no female friends. Like, you have to have that. You can't have males around you the whole time, because their perspective is sometimes more narrow than women's, women's perspective is more broad. So it just kind of depends. But I think that it's a beautiful thing that Cashel showed, that women can work together, women can have each other's back, i.e. Kamisha and Nia having Asha's back, at game night, like, hold on, wait a minute, we're not doing this right here. Let's go to the back, what's going on? Even the scene where still game night, but they, pulled Trophy into the kitchen, like, okay, let's breathe. Let's calm down. Let's, get it together. So I think that it's shown in different aspects of the series that, hey, women can have a bond. Women can have each other's back, even with different opinions and differences and coming from different walks of life, Highland Park, Oak Cliff, hey, we all in the same room and we can still make it work without, choking each other. So it's very much needed. It's very much needed. And I think it's a beautiful thing, and it was written beautifully. So
I think for me, like Asha, she kind of has a smaller circle. And when she lets you in, Cam, you really shouldn't mess it up. But anyway, friends are really important. They're your chosen family. You want people around you that, of course, are not going to be, yes men, yes women, whatever, that are really just going to be real with you. And I think for all of us, especially being in this industry, we need honest people around us constantly, just to remain like true to ourselves. And because it gets hard. And so having that foundation of people who love you, who know you, is just, it's so important at a like basic level. It's really important. So.
Yeah, to again piggyback off of everyone, the same reason why it's important to see ourselves on TV, people that look like us, that act like us and talk like us, is the same reason why it's important to also have a community, where people act like you, talk like you, can show you yourself. I think, when you have friends, most of the time, birds of a feather flock together. You're able to see yourself and go, ooh, okay, maybe I shouldn't do that or say that, or okay, I see my girlfriend doing that, we're in the same industry, coming from a Hollywood perspective, like, ooh, she didn't handle that executive meeting, with the producers too well, maybe I should go a different route. That's personally, a personal experience for me of seeing my friends in the industry and how they handle things and communicate with each other. And then coming back to me, telling me like, these are the mistakes I've made, this is how we can grow. We're not meant to be on this earth, by ourselves. That's why we were all created, and so many of us, because we're meant to, be connected and have community. And when you're able to understand that and get outside of your head, which is sometimes really hard for me personally, I'm an air sign, so I can be all in my head. But when you get outside of your head, you really do get to experience life and see the different perspectives of people and really grow as an individual. So that's why I believe it's important to have, a community of friends within your community of acting, of your job and outside of your job.
Can I add one point to that, because I think when the reason why I was really, I mean, Cashel is my sister and I think she's dope, but I will tell her when it ain't dope. But the reason why I wanted to put so much investment into this series, into all of these beautiful Black faces that we seeing around this panel, is because this is, you can transfer this conversation to any industry, whether you're in tech or you're in banking or you're in finance. We have to dispel the myth, which is what Watt's Productions is about, is that we have to be against each other. And I think when we can do that authentically on camera, we can show that, you know, when you go watch the series, and I guess everybody on the live, y'all go watch, it's good. Drop us a line, give us your feedback. And you can watch it again and again and again. But when you watch the series, one of the things that I loved seeing it visually, from paper to visual, what the actors was able to do, is that I felt moments of my own self in my own professional career where people would hold you accountable. You know, you're holding yourself accountable. No, I shouldn't have went off in that meeting. But sometimes we go off in a meeting, and we're portrayed as usually angry Black women, especially Black American women. So when Cashel wrote this series, I loved how all the women in the series were very independent, but had these group of friends, which we really do have. Now, you don't have to like everybody at your job, but respect should be fundamental. And especially, listen to me, everybody on the live, I don't care what industry you in, especially if it's another Black woman in your world. Like, let's just be respectful, because it's hard for us in general. So I think when you look at it from that perspective, and you have the tribe that says, girl, did I do that the wrong way? And they can honestly say to you, now, Kalisha, you know you were wrong, and you take that and you digest that and you move that forward. I think that's important. And when we don't see that, when we only see us fighting each other on reality TV or whatever you want to call it, or even in the script, that gets portrayed over and over again. And me and Cashel, we are gung-ho to break that up. So if you see frame of reference and the women are doing whatever they're doing in their respective industries, that's great. But you can also take that to your own industry, right? You don't have to be best friends with everybody. They ain't got to be your mimosa Sundays, right? But it can be just a respect, because it's hard for Black women in general. You know, we are the most disrespected ones in the world. So we want to dispel that. And I think the ladies did such a great job of that, especially Komisha and Nia. Like, that was hard right there. And I felt that on screen.
And everyone keeps bringing up the difference. So let me put it this way. When other cultures look at us, they think we're like this Black monolith, right? Like, we all act the same way, we do the same thing. But within this series, as we can see from the sea of variety of faces on this Zoom and this live, is that we are all different, and everyone brings something different to the table. And so I want to just talk through the Black monolith, and Cashel and Kalisha, maybe you can start us off with this part of the conversation, is why was it so important to have a variety of Black individuals on the show, and not someone that was just, sometimes you watch a show and it's like the carbon copy, right? Everybody looks the same. Like, we are not looking at a bunch of Kardashians. Everyone here is unique. Everyone here has their own look. And so I want to talk on the importance of that, and why, and also from the actor perspective, how you appreciate the variety from a Black, so we're not that Black monolith.
Such a great question, Dina, and I'm so glad that you posed it. For me, the reason that I'm so passionate about being a writer, I'll never forget, I was watching TV and I got pissed off. I'm not even gonna name the show I was watching, because it don't matter. And I got so mad, and Kalisha was like, why are you this angry? I was like, because it's the same old shit. And I was like, that's not real life for me, right? So I know everybody's real life is you know, their own. And I'm like, I'm so tired of this. And so she was like, stop complaining about it, Cashel. She was like, change it. I was like, okay. And so when Kalisha said that to me, it was about a year or two before I even put pen to paper for a frame of reference. And the first thing that I vowed to do I was like, I'm going to really show what life is like for, I believe, most Black Americans, but I'm going to write it from my perspective. And the number one thing that would frustrate me, let me tell you why, despite the circumstances that, the cloud that hangs over Dr. Cosby's head. But when I saw the Cosby Show, I was like, yo, I know a Theo. And it was refreshing for me. And it was because of a different world that I even went to a HBCU. I was like, yo, I'm about to have that experience. And Kalisha would often call me when I was in my college days, and she was like, what's it like? She was like, is it the different world experience? And I was like, man, every day is like going out and having every day you saw yourself. Every day I saw myself. I was on the yard, I saw myself. I was just in the classroom, I saw myself. And that was so powerful to me. And I saw smart people, intelligent people, wise people, dumb people. I seen them all. I seen Cameron. I knew Malik. I seen them all. And I promised, I was like, when I write this, I'm going to be so nuanced with what Black American life really looks like. And I was in another interview, and I was like, I really don't think that, well, no, I know they know, y'all. They know how powerful visual media is. I was on holiday in London, and a gentleman came up to me and was like, Americans? We're like, yes. He was like, you're from Atlanta. I was like, no, I'm not from Atlanta. He was like, Real Housewives? I was like, no. I'm like, this D-Town, baby. And so just how strong visual media is, this crossing continents, that's the only view that they have of us. It infuriated me. And my father was super intelligent. He was an engineer. He built one of the programs that they still running today at his corporation that he worked for. I knew Cameron's, I knew the Camerons. I worked with them. I seen their brilliance. What I love about Cameron's character is that he's brilliant. He's so arrogant, y'all, but I had him in there studying. He had the book up studying, like he's studying his craft. And so I just wanted to be nuanced. My favorite characters out of everybody, although, Ethan is my lead character, but the Browns, I remember being on set and I said, I'm telling y'all, everybody gonna love the Browns. And that's the biggest feedback. We was like, man, the Browns are so real. The Browns was the ones that was in the control, while all these bougie ass Black folks was acting crazy. It was the Browns that was like, yo, what's up with them? Like, we thought that, they would be more finesse than us. And so just dispelling the myths about the social differences that happens within our community. The level of our depth was important to me. So for me, every story that you will see from Watts will dismantle every stereotype you ever thought about a Black American. It's not happening here. We are so dope on so many levels, in so many ways, and we deserve the platform for us to see those nuances. We deserve to see that. And the one thing that, kind of aggravates me about the industry is that they select what they want to show from our community. Like, okay, y'all get this, and now y'all get that. And that's like, that's all we get? Like, we don't get nothing else? Like, that's it? And so I think the power of production and the power of media is so important. And I want to give a shout out to every writer, especially the Black writers. Keep writing. I'm looking for you. Don't give up on your writing. We need you. It's important that Black stories are told by Black people. It's important that, because we got the nuance. I remember being on set and I was like, look, Nia, you're going to have to be this way, because I was like, ain't nobody else going to believe you. And I remember being in rehearsal and be like, I don't believe you. And they not going to believe you. Got to go back and work that. And I want to give a special shout out to Crystal. I have never, just natural talent. I got footage that I believe I'm gonna share it with you. I mean, I was in the editing room and I was truth. This girl got me crying. She got me crying tears because I felt how how real your character was. I was like, I could name every woman that I know that's Comisha Brown. And when they see you, they're going to be like, man, that's me. And so I'm just thankful for the ability to write nuanced Black characters. I'm thankful for every single actor and actress that's on this line today. Everybody that was a part of Frame of Reference brought their flavor for each character. We are not monolith. I'm gonna say it again. We are not one way. We're not all basketball players. My favorite line is Harlem when he said, "Oh yeah, she found a real one. She found a non-ball player making money." Right? Like she being selective. Like, and so I just love the nuance and of being a writer and creating this world. And y'all made Frame of Reference look so beautiful. And I'm just so thankful. So yes, thank you for allowing me to share that.
Can I just add in real quick that all of that worked because A, the writing was dope, and B, you did such a phenomenal job of casting that it was off the charts. Okay, and I didn't really have the opportunity to appreciate that until I saw it on my screen, on my television, because I was only, like I said, I was only there for a few days. And but to see it, you know, I believed all those characters. I never once said, oh, you know, that's bad acting, or that's good acting, or just acting. Everyone that was like, that's that person. And I even told Deron, man, his acting was off the charts because I know him and he is nothing like that character. So that means he really killed it. So.
Can I share a editing story? So in our editor's room, there was a lot of conversation about Cameron's character. And we were like, what's wrong? What's going on? It was like, I hate this guy. I hate him. And I was like, y'all, this is not who this person is in real life. He is the most kind, polite guy ever. But Darren, I want to give you your flowers. That's a true testament to your skill. You had them feeling some kind of way in that space. And I want to also thank you as a writer. The most greatest gift you could ever give a writer is to enact that character the way they actually saw it in their head. And when I wrote Cameron, you enacted him to a T. And so I thank you for that. And I do not take that for granted. You embodied that character and you knocked it out the ballpark. So just kudos to your level of skill in your work.
Yes, because I'll admit, I love to hate Cameron. He was so bad, but so, like, you were so good acting in it. So it's like, man, I love that you did that as an acting job, but I cannot stand Cameron. Like, he got to go somewhere. I think that was the first thing I told when Chriselle and Kalisha asked me for a review of the series. I was like, y'all, I hate to love Cameron. I can't help it. And to end today's conversation, because I know we said we would only stay on for an hour, I do want to know what's next for everyone now that the series is out.
Promoting it, like promoting. I'm going to be promoting the Frame of Reference like crazy. In all honesty, it's one of the biggest projects I've ever been a part of. So thank you, Kashelle and Kalisha, for allowing me to do this. Again, I've been doing this for years, but this was so dope, and y'all actually saw it through. A lot of stuff just gets shelved, like we talked about. So to see this come into fruition, I really appreciate it. But yeah, I'm going to be promoting Frame of Reference like crazy, telling my family, telling my friends. I'm going to be rewatching it myself, and I'm just get back to the grind of auditioning some more.
Yes, to piggyback off of what Darren said, like all my social media, they're about to be tired of my page because it's all Frame of Reference. Like, I've been texting and I have been, hey, go watch it. I've watched it 3 times, y'all, 3 times. And every time I watch a different episode or a different scene, I'm like, oh, I remember that. Oh my God. It's amazing. And I am praying profusely, and I have all the Prayer Warriors season 2 coming. Okay, ASAP. I am so excited. I am so ready. This is just that's what I have in store. I mean, it has, like Darren said, getting back out there and doing some more, auditioning. This has literally, now that I've actually seen myself, it makes me want to get out there even more. Like Cashel and Kalisha have told me a numerous amount of times, your talent is beautiful. Don't be stingy with it. Put it out there. Put it out there for other little girls, other grown women to see that you can still do this. You can do this. That has been one of the best things that I've heard from these ladies from day one is you're so natural. It comes so naturally to you. And the push that they have given this whole time since I was cast as Nia has just encouraged me more and more and more every day to just get back out there. And now to actually see on the TV, listen, it is the most elating, the most beautiful feeling ever, y'all, ever. And I am eternally grateful. I told them and I said to everybody watching, and I shouted from the mountaintops, Watts got me anytime they need me. I can be with somebody else and be like, I got to go back with my tribe. I got to go back with my family. I got to be with my foundation. This is my foundation. So Zachary sisters, y'all are the bomb. Y'all are a blessing. And because you know whose you are, you're going to flourish continuously. I don't care who put their mouth on y'all. I don't care who says what, who does what. What's meant for Watts is meant for Watts, okay? Time is time, but we don't rush anything. We don't rush anything. And because you ladies take your time, you have created a masterpiece. So I love y'all and I am grateful. And I mean that from the bottom of my heart. I love y'all. I love our castmates. They're the reason I want to travel now. New York, ATL, Houston, everywhere. I want to see everybody. So I love you, Kalisha, Cashel, and the whole Watts team. I love y'all. Thank you for the opportunity.
I'm gonna say what's next for me is definitely, like Darren said, definitely like Shannon, it's definitely more promotion. And not just that, I feel like because the way I grew up in Miami, I have a lot of pull to certain people. So it's like now I'm in the hood with it because I felt like with the Browns, I really get them to really see what it's about. I have a lot of people who did go to jail and they like, sometimes they'll watch something, okay, what you got for me? What is this about? All right, there's a character who was a felon. There was a character who didn't graduate. He had to get his GED in prison. So it's like, there's like, okay, so let me see myself. That's them seeing their stuff on TV. So it's more about now I get to go to that cousin I got like, hey, bro, I real life know you cannot learn the way everybody else learn. That's who I am. That's you. And watch how he can flourish in this life. So, and even just to thank God for opportunities, just because of Watts and the reel I put up, I got 2 opportunities, people just from that one scene. Look at them and look at us. They was like, oh my gosh, bro. They said, I felt like you spoke to me about other people really judging you. And I got a new pilot and a theater role. And I'm like, I'm gonna put down the back burner and just wait because this is what got me. This is like the baby. So I gotta like real to keep cooking it up. Like I'm just, we just everywhere with it. You know what I'm saying? So definitely more promotion. Like we praying on it. My mom praying on it. People in New York praying on it. So it's like, this is just big to so much people. So again, more promotion, just like, again, more life for this series. Like Shannon said, season 2 coming very soon. Definitely.
I actually took a back burner, put acting on the back burner for a minute, because I was auditioning for roles that I couldn't offer nothing to the character. Like, if people don't understand, if they've never been in the acting industry, that you don't act, you be and you become, that's you're living in that. And there's certain roles that people that I've auditioned for them and they want me for them, but I'm like, I can't become that person. I have absolutely nothing to offer to this character. And I had discussed that with Cashel, I believe Kalisha as well, at the beginning, before everything, that I don't take certain roles. And even now, to what Marvin was saying, a lot of times we want to get as much as we can. We want to audition as much as we can, get roles, get gigs and all that. But I think for me, this is gonna be my focus, the promotion, the pushing, because Kalisha and Kashelle, y'all have poured, y'all have plowed, y'all have done things in the dark that none of us even know about. Y'all have cried tears that none of us was there to witness. Y'all have gone through things that none of us was there to witness. And so because of your pour and because of your plow, you moved out the things that was standing in the way. You moved a lot of boundaries and a lot of hurdles for many of us. For me, I can't speak for nobody else, but for me. And so with that, I have to show my appreciation. I have to. I'm loyal. I'm from the streets. I'm Kamisha for real, if y'all didn't know, but I be trying to tone it down. But I have to give back, and I'm loyal to my people that be loyal to me. And y'all have been nothing but loyal. Y'all have been, I just give y'all praises. I give y'all praises for who y'all are, because you can't pretend to be that. You can't run a production company and pretend and have all these people saying the same things about you, about your heart, about your care, about the way you handle people. So I just give y'all praises, and I thank you, and I love you, and I look forward to see what Frame of Reference and Watzs production house is gonna do moving forward, and just watching the castmates and seeing how their journeys and how everybody's evolving, and it's such a beautiful journey, and I'm so glad to be a part of it and so thankful.
Like everyone else has been saying, promoting, sorry girl, but promoting, that's the word of the night. That's going to be a continuous thing. And I want to share my thanks to Watts. I know we got so much stuff coming up, and I'm so excited for what's to come. But yeah, just promoting, staying on it. Like Shan said, seeing this, and seeing myself on the TV, it really did give me a drive to really just work even harder. About to cry, but I'm just really excited for what's to come. I know big things are coming, and I really appreciate y'all for trusting us with your baby. Thank you. Thank you.
Yes. I actually cannot talk about what I have coming up next because I'm not trying to breach no contracts, so you'll just have to see. It's a character that is very different than Trophy. So I'm excited for people to see me in a different light. That's one of the most fun things about acting, is when people can see me play different characters and they go, wow, Simone, I like to believe that I have range, but now I'm able to show people my range. So I'm excited for everybody to see what's coming up next. And again, like everybody else, I'm gonna promote this. I have to promote this, for the Black community, and because of the love that I have for Watts. The amount that they have poured into me, it would be disrespectful for me not to pour it back out. What they are doing for us in the community as actors, taking chances, the environment they're creating. I have been on different sets and I've heard some things and I've seen some things. But Watts has been one of my favorite sets to be on to this day, and I've been on high level sets, as in that they are union and that they have other money coming in that Watts did not have. And Watts did a better job than them on treating their actors and their crew. Everybody was with respect. So I'm gonna be promoting Watts like crazy, because seeing them succeed means that I'm succeeding, I'm rooting for everybody Black. So, I love my other people, different races, ethnicity, and everything like that. But I need to see more of us. So I'm rooting for everybody Black. I'm rooting for Watts.
Yeah, I mean, for me, same thing. It's gonna be full promotion mode, promotion mode. I'm gonna try my best not to share too much of the content from the actual show on my social media, because part of it is to drive the traffic there. But here's the thing. Here's the thing. What Kalisha and Kashelle have done is what a lot of people I think that's what separates people, right? some people don't have the ability to like overcome obstacles or hurdle, right? No, 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 and then you go create the yes, right? A lot of people can't do that, and Kalisha and Kashel were able to do that with Watzs Production, and them taking a chance on us is only right that we show them how thankful we are for that opportunity. Because I'm telling you, like, a lot of us got opportunities that, you know, other people probably wouldn't have given us, not that early in our careers, you know what I'm saying? Like, okay, now things are boiling up, like now there's things up the pike, right? But my main focus is promoting the show, one, because I just love it. I just love it. I fell in love with the script, and now just seeing it come to life with all these beautiful, talented actors, it's been phenomenal. So we're gonna promote this thing, like promote it full blown. We're gonna do it for the time frame that it's gonna be on WFAA. So from a strategic standpoint, Kalisha, Kashel, whatever you need me to do, I'm on board. We're gonna make this happen. I'm gonna be posting stuff, putting stuff up for the rest of the month. Now, all I want to say is this, and I've given you guys flowers, but you got to give the flowers right now to everybody that's on the Zoom. Thank you guys so much for an amazing job, because watching you guys on camera, I was blown away. It was amazing. I was blown away. Kashel, you got to understand the genius that you are, right? I'm not gonna say names, but I watched a documentary of a genius, right? And I'll put you in that same conversation any day of the week. For you to be able to create, because the thing people don't understand is when you're a writer, you're creating a world. You're creating a world from scratch, right? Intricacies of every character, details, attention to details. Like Kashel, Kalisha, they're all about the details. Like down to like what I'm wearing, to what I'm saying, where I'm looking, the glasses I'm wearing, like they're all about the details. So just genius level work. And when you see it all come together. So we're going to promote this thing like nobody's business. And that's going to be my only objective for the next 3 months while it's up on WFAA. And that's all I got in mind. And I'm just thankful to be part of this process. I'm humbled to be part of this process because, there were a lot of times when I would question what I'm doing, right? I thought I was gonna go play pro ball, and that didn't happen for me, and I was kind of like lost in the sauce. But being able to like really find myself doing what I'm doing, which I truly love doing, is a testament to God's glory, but also the opportunity that people like Kalisha and Kashel provide to us. So yeah, we're gonna promote the hell out of this thing. Yo, listen, get everybody to watch it because it's worth the watch. It's damn worth the watch. Get everybody to watch it. And then whatever's coming up next, I'm excited for. Like we keep saying season 2, I'm ready. I'm going to bear back out at some point. We're gonna make it happen. But thank you guys so much, man. It's been an amazing journey, and I'm excited to see what happens next. So thank you.
Okay, I'm gonna go next so that Deron, you get the final say. I always tell any director, producer, and I've worked with a lot of small projects, some big projects. Once I'm in, I'm all in. That's the only way I know how to do it. So if there's, I know I was a co-star, I wasn't one of the principals, and that was fine. All the parts are important. Whatever it is you need me to do, if there's, if you ever need me to do another Zoom or anything's happening in Atlanta or whatever, anywhere you need me, I'm available. Okay, so I just want to say that straight up. And that's the only way I know how to do it. Okay, so once I'm involved in a project, I'm all in, and I'm all in for however long you need. Okay, now for the commercial. All right. Since the question was, what are we doing after this? I can talk about my stuff, so I'm gonna talk about it. I currently have a Moderna commercial running nationwide. Check that out. I got a Keytruda commercial coming out later this year. I got a film that we shot last year called 1111, where I played a homeless schizophrenic, had to grow out my hair and act all crazy and talking to myself. That's going to be out probably in November because the name of it is 1111, and it's probably going to be released on 1111. There is a play called Greenwood that now I've done the last 2 years, and I strongly believe it's on its way to Broadway. I've been involved in that. We did the National Black Theater Festival last summer, and it's going to happen again. And you guys know my heart is on stage. I love, that's where I started. And so every year here in Atlanta in August, we do a show called Jukebox Giants, Motown and More. And Mr. Duran and his lovely bride came to see it. And it's music of the 50s, 60s, and 70s. And it just tickles me to do the show because I went to audition as the old guy. They rewrote the script around me. And so it's me and all these 20 and 30-year-old kids. And I say that affectionately but positively. I'm the narrator. They totally revamped the script and said, this is perfect. So we've now done that show 2 years in a row, and we're expecting to do it this August. So if anybody happens to be in Atlanta, the 2 middle weekends of August, I promise you, you will love this show. Last one, Apple Core, which has been on the film festival circuit for the last year, is probably going to show on a major network, which I'm not supposed to say at this point. But that's going to be played at a film festival in DC April the 1st. And the film's been nominated for Best Film, Best Director. The director and writer was also a fellow Bison, HU. And I've been nominated for Best Actor in a Short Film. So that'll be happening on April 1st. Commercials done.
Let me say this about Watts. Carl, you doing your thing. Everybody is. Congratulations to every single person. I think Darren went first. Or am I right? Yeah. So, but this is for me, to everybody who said promotion, thank you so very much. Just like I don't care what industry you're in, going to different levels is important. So never negate process, put your blinders on, and do not allow people to fool you to what it looks like, because when you get down to it, it's called show business. These folks put on the show, the promotion is the business. So everyone, you can binge all 8 episodes of Frame of Reference on WFAA Plus streaming app. You can get that on Roku or all Fire devices. I hope I sounded just like the news anchors. So the promotion is running really strong here in North Texas. We got linear commercials that are starting to push through, as well as interviews and news drops. So that's what's on the horizon for Watts immediately right now. But I do want to let everybody know we are working and we'll start principal photography on our second drama series called Percy Masterson, written by Cashel. She was the lead writer, but we brought in other writers from across the nation to come in and help Cashel write that series. And we're very excited about that. But my biggest next point is that I am going to put on as many undiscovered, brilliant Black actors, actresses, DPs, lighting technicians, editors. Like, I'm gonna do it all. And y'all hearing this first. I don't care what industry you in. There is a lot of communities that stick together. For some reason, we just can't get it right. Watts is gonna leave a legacy of getting it right. And when you build a legacy, you never go fast. You take your time, because we have to be very strategic. So even though there's nothing that's perfect, you know what I mean? I don't even care if you HBO, because Game of Thrones did have a Starbucks cup in it, okay? But I am going to say this. We do have our core values. That's integrity, patience, and respect. That's how we operate. That's what we live by. And I'm excited to be able to be pushing the content out to the world that's going to change and dismantle stereotypes about Black American life. So that's what's next up for Watts. I need y'all all to subscribe to Black Tech Unplugged podcast, because we're going to be on there next, okay? I didn't mean to steal that thunder, Dina, but we on there next, okay?
You all good. I was going to say, this isn't the end of our partnership. Make sure you subscribe to the podcast. There's more to come. We're promoting on Black Tech Unplugged on all the social media channels. So thank you all for your time today. I really appreciate you sharing your stories, your experiences. This is what Black Tech Unplugged is all about, sharing and amplifying Black voices. Everybody go check out Frame of Reference. As Kalisha mentioned, all 8 episodes, WFAA Plus on Roku and Fire TV, available right now. Support everyone who was on the live. And again, thank you, and share the live, because a lot of people missed a lot of gems tonight. So thank you all. Have a great rest of the evening.
Love you guys.
Go on.